You can see stuff way out ahead of them. That's why you're the expert.
Yeah.
If they choose not to listen, that's not on you.
I know.
Right.
And I still want it to be. Like, I get it. Yes. And my emotional compulsion is still to make it my problem.
I try to get off Facebook, and it's just one of those things that it has nothing to do with the content. It's just I physically can't, like, don't connect to anybody else on any other platform, like text, call. It's just I find it hard to get off Facebook. It is like the new TV addiction, I find. I'd pay for Facebook. I'd pay for Facebook so I don't have to see any more ads. If they send me $20 a month and I just didn't see any more ads from anything, I'd pay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay for paper user tolls.
Yeah,
it won't.
Already been said.
But I mean, if people get sick of it, eventually it's like voting with your dollar.
99.9% of people are not what you just said.
Yeah,
dude, and addiction.
What you just said is like pure Andrew anarchy. Like you just have this anarchist inside you, and it gives you that unique perspective, and you are one out of a fucking 100,000 people that feel that way. Everyone else is like, I do want that toothpaste, thank you.
That's what I'm wondering, if it's like this, Brave New World Soma style thing that, people are just going to be fed what the saccharin life that they need, that dopamine hit.
If they're totally run by their animal nature, and they're not self-governing, and they're not consciously cultivating the content of the feedback loop will run them. If you're conscious in cultivating it, like I'm religious about liking and unliking and hiding and not hiding ads in attempt to tailor my own feedback experience. Like it brings me actively what it is I am interested in, want to remind myself with, want to fill my mind with, and want to fill my life with. And if it doesn't, I remove it and I strip it. So I don't throw the whole echo chamber under the bus. It's a matter of how effectively are you using it to like make it a part of your psychological experience. I put it on the value hierarchy 4 years ago. I added it. 13th value determinant. What do you fill your social media with? And are you conscious of it or not?
Thank you.
Do you
it's good to be
LARP,
seen. No, I don't.
Have you thought about LARPing?
No.
LARPing? Live action role playing?
He's not a LARPer
You like
at all.
put on
That's a
you
total
put, like,
misread.
a night suit, somebody else puts on like wizard suits, and you actually like battle it out like in a real like role play.
You're confusing geek and nerd, and I don't know which one he is, but he's not the one you're talking about. My expectation on life is that people are going to turn on me and make something that shouldn't be my problem. It's like at some point in my life I associated being able to help people with having to be responsible for them, and I'm just trying to figure out like
Tear those two apart.
you know what I mean? Right, but I'm not afraid of being responsible. I'm afraid of losing the relationship because they decide to try to make me responsible.
Right, but that's part of their journey.
I get it.
You can't teach the world everything. That comes from you not feeling like they trust you. Right?
And when they do trust me, I'm suspicious.
Trust. It's like a suspension bridge. There's going to be rotten boards. You may or may not step on one, but you have to run the bridge. You got to get to the other side. If you step on a rotten board, you step on a rotten board. The trust still has to be there. You still got to trust the bridge to get you to the other side. There's nothing you can do about it. It's out of your hands, right?
Yeah.
And it's out of his hands. He can either choose to trust you with it, and you can choose to trust him in trusting you, or not, but the job still has to be done.
But what you're doing now is good enough, and it's exactly what you should be doing. And that is an answer.
Feedback we're getting from these clients, which is like, you're good enough. And I'm like, are you sure?
You are.
Are you sure? I don't see it. Which makes me feel like a selfish fuck too. I'm like, really? Jason, you're going through this bullshit, and can you validate me? Please, just, what? You trust us? Great,
Okay, I can see what's going on here because I've been there before. What you're experiencing, in my opinion, is the result of being a person perpetually engaged in self-inquiry and self-improvement. The more you look the more you'll find to both sides of the answer. Or that's just because you give enough of a shit about yourself and your own improvement to ask those questions. And you can over-inquire. And when we over-inquire, I think we get more emotional. And when we're emotional and over-inquiring, we exacerbate any problems that are there, and all of a sudden add fuel to the ones that are genuine. So you may just have to accept it as part of being a person who is
In inquiry.
unique amidst the masses
Okay.
of self-inquiry.
Or
But just
being
because
aware
you
of
find
being-
a way to improve doesn't mean that you did something wrong.
I feel that over the years I've known you, there's always stuff you're dodging and you're intellectualizing. And you can discuss it and go through the logical loops, but you're an expert at that I can't offer any insight to. I feel there's always something that you're dodging or missing that has to do with a need for approval, the validation, the self-harming mentally, the attachment to pain. And you're intellectualizing it for something that can't be intellectualizing. It's like you're sanding down this big block with intellectual when you just sometimes need to hammer it with a sledgehammer to break it, that sandpaper, which is your mind and intellectualizing, is not ever going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, that's the over-inquiry.
No, it's not the brain, man. It's not the brain. It's not that. That is the mask that's blocking it. Is that? Yes, you're absolutely right.
I got you.
There's something there that just, I don't know, I'm trying to screaming and needs to come out. I don't know what, but it just, yeah, it bothers me.
I'm happy to delegate that to you, Bennett.
I'm not the expert. I'd love to be there for it though, whatever that looks like.
So I guess to close, it's like one of our brand promises is that we hold space, and that includes for each other in our company. An open loop is simply an open loop until it's not. There's colors and flavors, there's topics and whatever. It's like an open loop in accounting is no different than an open loop in terms of its support ticket. And until the loop is closed, we don't know what the result is going to be. And the universe is a weird and fickle bitch. And it might go from looking totally disastrous to totally amazing and back again. And being attached to those outcomes while the loop is open is nothing but ourselves taking us on a joyride. And as the leader of the company, I have a mandate to be wholly detached, or at least to allow the loop to continue moving in spite of my emotions. And to not jump to conclusions, and to not fantasize about the 10,000 different outcomes, right? It's just, what is the next right step that we can take in order to move this loop forward? You can be emotional. I don't need you to manage loops with a smile on your face. Your head can be on the desk. Just keep the loops moving, right? And let's learn what we can from it.
Hi guys, thank you for watching Daily Genius number 81. You know how this goes. You've seen me do this a bajillion times. So you know what? I'm not even going to do it this time. Do you know what I'm going to say for the outro? Tell me what I'm going to say in the outro in the comments. Ha ha ha. On a more serious note, recently our service technician Johnny, who you guys have seen, his two boys lost their home in a fire in the Northwest. There has been a GoFundMe page set up to, help them get back on their feet. I'm going to link that in the comments below. Please, if you're able to give, that would be awesome, and we would really appreciate it, and I'm sure he would as well. So, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Hey, Everett, do you want a
Well,
coffee?
no, when it came in, it was like the